All right, guys, we got some special guests on our farms today. We got Nikki Barrett and Trey Bowers from Gleason, Tennessee. They've been watching us, been watching us ever since we were on the American farm and wanted to come out and tour our farm. Trey's parents actually arranged it for him for like a Christmas present. He didn't know about it until Christmas Day. So anyway, finally able to get together. Trey's mom actually designed some really awesome gear right there. She made those herself. See the hat there. Really awesome gear. Brought it out. Gave us some. So anyway, they just wanted to tour the farm. Been seen us on the big screen for quite a while, but it's no substitute to putting eyes on the farm. Everything looks a little bit different in real life than it does on camera, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So anyway, we've been busy hauling beans. Gave them a chance to help a little bit, load the truck and everything, and show them all the equipment. So really enjoyed having y'all out here.
Thanks for letting us come. We enjoyed it.
Y'all right down the road. Whenever we get busy in the field, y'all feel free to come out again.
We'll definitely come back. We'd like to see you in operation.
Yeah, maybe get to riding that module picker down
like
the road.
I ain't never been in a cotton picker. Said we don't have cotton around Gleason that much, but they'd be glad to come back and see that.
All right. Well, glad to have y'all out here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, we got our truck and sprayer serviced and ready to go. Got our high price fertilizer in. Our wheat's been in the ground 2 months, growing, starting to get a little hungry. Time to go give it some food. It's time to start putting the nitrogen to the wheat. Not only do we have to feed the wheat, this is going to be Andy's first experience driving a sprayer. So we got a lot of training got to do today to get him up to speed on this, up to speed on our fields. A lot of things he's going to be learning right now, but right now is the best time to learn. We're not really pressed for time real bad. We got crops going in the field, but it's still real small, so he can get the layout of our fields, see all the hidden dangers, washouts, holes, all that kind of stuff, before the crop gets tall. Not going to do near as much damage running over the crop now as we will later. So, hopefully we'll get a lot of experience on the sprayer today. And then once the wheat's taller, we got to make other passes over it. He'll, have a pretty good feel for the sprayer and a pretty good feel for our fields and be able to do a pretty effective job spraying. All right, you ready to get a crash course on the sprayer?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to see what the green paint can do.
Would you rather have me as a teacher or Kelly as a teacher?
I don't know. Kelly was saying she had to get all her rust off of her system, so I don't know.
I'm a better teacher. I have more patience.
I got plenty of patience as long as you learn it the first time.
Oh, this is Matt Griggs. Here, do this,
quick.
do this. See you later. Spray 400 acres. Peace out.
You can do that and not break anything.
You know what he told me? My first job when I started full time, he put me in Helga with a full load of corn and said, "Here you go to Bungie." No training, no not how to drive this. It's here you go.
You got it done, didn't you?
It's a great way to teach someone. Here's the keys. Good luck.
Learn the hard way, you won't forget it.
Well,
Yeah, let's not do the hard way. That thing costs $300,000. Let's not do that. No.
Well, we got about 415 acres of wheat spray. We'll try and get at least 100 right here close to the shop done. I'll start out, spray that, and have you ride along, show you all the monitor and everything. Then once we get up in Madison County with bigger wide open fields, let you see what you can do on it. Well, let's go up here and get it filled up and get the field. Man, I don't want to get this thing dirty. All right, one of the most critical things when you're spraying I mean, other than making sure you don't hit the booms on obstacles and trees, run them into the ground, or miss a spot in the field, is going to be the record keeping part on the monitor. Because I need the records off of here for accurate record keeping in case I get checked or anything. This is also how we bill our landlords. We keep up with our costs and everything. So a lot of stuff, mistakes that are made on this monitor, I can correct it on my software, but it's a really pain in the butt, and that's if I catch it. If I don't catch it, well then I've got inaccurate figures. So it's a computer, garbage in, garbage out. Be very precise when you're entering in what we're spraying, the crop type, the farm, that kind of stuff. A lot of it's automated, but until you really get used to the monitor, to make really sure that you double check you've got everything entered just right. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of what you're seeing on your main screen here. This is gonna be the main one that I like spraying with. Zach liked a little bit different one, but this is the one that I preferred. Shows your gallons in your tank. Here's your spraying map, rate, gallons per acre, pressure, all that stuff you need to pay attention to. Any kind of auto track patterns that you got here. You got your boom track. So as you get used to it, I mean, feel free to play around with it. I mean, you can actually change the layup if there's something you want to see, something you don't use much, and something you want to see. You can swap out the different areas. Like, I think this was a screen that Zach used to spray with. It's got a bigger map, but you're missing some of the other stuff on there. All right, we got you out of your field. I showed you everything about the monitor. I think you got a pretty good rough understanding on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can look through it while I'm looking through it and find some odds and ends things, but I think I've got a good grasp on all the pages I need to see about.
All right. Now that we're out here in the field, we're gonna spray the outside boundary first. The main thing here is don't hit the boom on the tree. Don't mess up the paint, don't mess up the ceramic coating, and most importantly, don't tear the boom up. And when you kind of, especially where we're spraying wheat behind cotton, you can kind of get lined up on your outside row, and then you don't have to watch that. Just follow the existing rows down the center, and you should be all right. All right, see how our pressure's kind of bouncing all over, or our gallon per acre is bouncing all over the place. Try speeding up, and hopefully it'll stabilize out. If not, we might have to adjust the valve. A little muddy out here. I don't want to do that. But got rain coming in tomorrow. It's not going to get any drier anytime soon.
Not with rain coming, that's for sure.
Alright, now I say our gallons per acre is stabilized. Sometimes, especially when we first start off spraying, it can take a little bit to do that. Another thing too, when you get to like square edges and stuff, there's a few of them that you can kind of turn while it's still spraying, but you're going to be putting out way heavy on the inside and way light on the outside. So it's better to just turn the spray off, turn around, get lined back up to where you're kind of going as straight as possible to keep the rate even across the board. Well, first farm's done, and we making just a little bit more of a mess, a few more tracks than what I would like to. Ideally, we would definitely not be out here spraying today, but like I said, got rain coming in tomorrow night, then pretty much rain all next week. Plus, Kelly and I leaving Wednesday for our anniversary, going down to Mexico for a week, and then by the time we get back, it wouldn't be too late to put the nitrogen on the weed, but we definitely could have lost a little bit of yield potential. So today's the best option that we got, but when you're in the middle of winter, you're hardly ever going to get the perfect conditions. And especially considering our wheat's late planted, right now is when it's setting tillers on how many heads are in the field, how many heads per acre you have, and this nitrogen will really help encourage the wheat to tiller out, put more heads out there, which should increase yield. So definitely don't want to miss this opportunity to go ahead and get as many heads out here as possible. Anyway, first farm down. Hopefully the next one won't be quite as muddy and it'll just continue to get a little drier as we go along. But we've already got a little bit of mud on this ceramic coating. Hopefully it just slid right off. I gotta say it hurt my feelings a little bit though.
Shiny's not super shiny anymore, but a little bit of water. A little bit of water is all you're gonna need.
Whenever we do get done with this, we're gonna test out on how easy this equipment is to clean up now. So you're spraying outside of where we need to spray. So that's a section you want to hit like the auto steer, but not the headland management system. All right, I'm gonna play professional TV cameraman here. So Andy, tell us what we're doing here today.
We are spraying some nitrogen on some wheat, and I am very nervous and trying my best right now, but we are laying the nitrogen down good.
Now this is the first time you've ever driven a sprayer in the field, isn't it?
This is pretty much my very first time. I've been in a red one for I've slept in a red one about a couple hours, and I've driven a red one for about 20 minutes, and that's about it. Oh, I didn't turn right. So.
We all know the John Deere's better though, don't we?
It's pretty nice. I can't lie. It is a pretty nice sprayer. It's got a lot of technology, and you can't really even feel the bumps. I like that.
You got a lot of getting used to all the buttons over there on the side though, don't you?
A lot of buttons, a lot of it takes the wheel from you a lot. It's nice.
Yeah. Like we told everybody a month ago, you're gonna have a pretty steep learning curve this year, but I think you'll be able to pick it up pretty quickly. I mean, before you know it, it'll become second nature to you.
I sure hope so. We can start from the beginning and keep on going. Learn as much as I can.
The main thing is don't tear up the equipment until it becomes second nature to you.
Yeah. Do not tear anything up just yet. On this one, I'm not. I should have turned well.
It's my bad. I was distracting you. Yeah, but we're here at the end of the first day. Just about got 100 acres done. I did some of the more difficult fields, which it seems like all of our fields are difficult, but we got a little wide open area here. Decided to go ahead and give him a chance at the wheel where he'll be a little bit better prepared tomorrow when we get into some other fields. And hopefully we won't spend too awful much of our Saturday getting this nitrogen wrapped up.
Oh yeah, we can knock out a couple more fields tomorrow. I'll hit all the flat, straight ones. We can have all the curves and hills.
Yeah. We only got one more farm that's got a bunch of small fields. It's not hilly. It's a lot of bottom ground, but it's a bunch of folding and unfolding. Our first 100 acres is got its food, ready to do some growing. We'll see you back here in the morning. What time is it? About noon?
It's about that time.
And we're finally getting started spraying for the day.
It's been a long morning.
We're not starting off 2023 good. Andy finished up where we ran out last night, and we got moved up here to Madison County, and I was gonna hop up on there with him, ride him, show him all these small fields, and saw hydraulic oil pouring out of the bottom of the sprayer. You know that preventative maintenance we did a couple videos ago?
I guess that was all for nothing, just for fun.
It wound up causing us problems.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fitting on the new hose failed, mainly because they had to reuse a fitting from the original hose, and it had been overcrimped from the factory, and it didn't make a good seal. So anyway, trip to Humboldt, got new hose made, got a different style fitting, got back out here, and realized that the new style fitting would not work because it was wider, and we couldn't get a wrench or a socket on the bolts to bolt it up. So anyway, I got to put my brand new lathe to work for the first time. Pretty good $500 investment there. I only need it a couple times a year, but a day like today, pay for itself. Yeah, so we was able to mill down the lip on that hydraulic hose. So. But unfortunately, we lost a solid 3 hours, and if we're gonna get done today, I had to take over a lot of the spraying. Still gonna let Andy try when we get in the big fields, but these small fields, because he's not used to the sprayer, it's just they won't be able to do it near as fast. And we got rain coming in this evening, and we gotta get this done. So hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. All right, Andy's away on his maiden voyage there. Got a nice big 53-acre field here I got laid off for him. The problem right now with, if you've ever run equipment, is that you know, got so many controls in there, you have to think about what buttons to push, the sequence you're going to do it in, and all that kind of stuff while still operate the machine. Whereas hopefully he starts getting some experience under his belt, and you know, it'll just be automatic. You won't have to think. You'll just pull in the field and you'll know how to spray it, know which buttons to push, and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully he can pick that up pretty quick, and then you know, just become and then it just becomes second nature to him. All right, right now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and getting another load mixed up. While, you know, primarily what we're putting out is fertilizer. We're also putting out an insecticide, active ingredients lambda, and we're putting it out for control of aphids. And the aphids don't reduce yield per se by feeding on the plant, but what they do is they can transmit a disease called barley yellow dwarf virus, which will reduce yield. So even though it's winter time, anytime we have any brief warm-ups, which I mean we've had up until this week, thrips can be active and be you know, be on the wheat and be transmitting that disease. So we want to try and keep them at bay. Putting this out at a rate of 1.25 ounces per acre, 2-pound ingredient. So even though it's towards the end of January, we're trying to beat the weather yet again. Got rain coming in this evening, and there's already light rain showers in northwest Mississippi, kind of easing up this way. Anyway, I want to give you a look at the wheat briefly to show you what it looks like. It really doesn't look, you know, a whole heck of a lot different than what I showed you in late December. You know, wheat doesn't grow that much during the winter, but you know, we did have a couple fairly warm weeks, and it did do some growing and green back up. It did a lot of recovering from that freeze that we had right there around Christmas, where it got down to, you know, 0 degrees and really burnt the wheat back. Anyway, I mean, it's looking good right now. Still pretty small, which is not a bad thing. Gives it a lot more winter tolerance. As you can tell, we're using streamer tips right now to put out fertilizer because fertilizer can burn the leaf on the wheat, and just putting it out in streams minimizes the contact with the plant, but there's still enough that gets on the plant that the insecticide in the fertilizer still has some activity. Anyway, this is one of 2 passes on fertilizer that we're going to make. We split apply our nitrogen to minimize losses through the environment, especially with all the rain we get in the winter, leaching it down through the soil. So we're putting on 16 gallons of 28% UAN right now, which is urea ammonium nitrate. Also got a 4% sulfur in there, and that'll supply enough nitrogen to get this weed until probably about late March, when it really starts growing vigorously and starts needing more nitrogen. And then we'll come back with a second shot of nitrogen to finish out the crop. Right now, the goal of this nitrogen application is to encourage the wheat plant to keep on growing and adding more tillers, because every tiller that's out here should produce a head. And if you remember from last wheat harvest, you know, I was a little disappointed in yields. A lot of it had to do with the warm May that we had that affected grain fill, but a lot of it also had to do with that my wheat was just a little bit thinner than what I thought. Didn't have the tillers and the amount of heads out there that I thought that it should. So we're bumping our nitrogen rate up a little bit more this year, especially on this first application, to try and encourage the wheat to put on a few more tillers, get that real nice thick wheat that's capable of 90 to 100 bushels an acre. And the reason it's so critical to get it on now is that, you know, here, you know, fairly soon, within the next month, the plant will quit trying to set tillers, and we'll start focusing on what's already there. So if we miss this opportunity to apply fertilizer, you know, we could still end up with thin wheat this coming June. It might still make good, but if you don't have the tillers there, it can't produce a head. Now the wheat could compensate some by producing bigger heads because it's got fewer tillers, but still, I'd much rather have the tillers out there rather than forcing the wheat plant to have to compensate for having a low density of tillers. And as you can see from the tracks, it's dried up a little bit from yesterday. It's not quite as bad, and I mean the vast majority of the field is fine, but when you kind of get around the edges and stuff where you got more shade and the ground stays wetter, so when we get to the edges and stuff and turning around, just having to really be careful and pick our spots and turn slow so we don't rut the fields up. So, you know, I prefer it to be a little bit drier, but it's doing okay right now. And right now, we're located in the city of Jackson. Got a garbage dump on one side, got Black & Decker distribution plant over there across the road. And then over here, we got Wagging Tails Resort, a swanky place to board your pets. I think it's nicer there than what my house. I've heard they've got a TV in every single room over there for the dogs and cats to watch. Blows my mind what some people require for their pets. Well, we didn't quite beat the rain. Rain just picked up, but we only got like 10 acres left. When we got back over here close to the shop, I went ahead and took back over because Andy doesn't need to be experiencing this field for the first time at night when it's muddy. I don't know. I probably should just pull off and do this, let this 10 acres go another day, but who knows if the conditions going to be any better whenever we get back from Mexico. I know it's not going to be good while we're gone. They call them for like snow, freezing rain, a lot of rain for the week that we're gone. Man, if only we hadn't had that problem with that hydraulic hose, we would have been done easily long before the rain. Imagine next time I see you, we're probably going to be in the shop getting started on the few projects we got to do this year. But when you do see me, I hope to have a pretty nice tan on me from my week in Mexico. Looking for a little R&R with the wife back at the place where we actually had our honeymoon at. Well, hello there, good looking.
Stop. You already hit the bar up?
What?
You already hit up the bar.
Oh, is it open? Well, pretty much planes, trains, and automobiles, we finally made it down here. Well, not the trains anyway, but it took us 3 days and 3 canceled flights to get out of the ice in Memphis and Texas. We finally made it here. Sure don't look like home. Didn't waste any time enjoying the all-inclusive package.
El famoso Xibalbá de los mayas, que a los aztecas se le llama Mictlán. Ahí está. El único lugar donde encuentras el agua.
What do you think, Kelly? Where are we at today?
We are in Tulum, Mexico. Look at this water, though. Look at the water.
Yeah, it's water. I'm here for the castle.
I'm here for the water.
I am accountant. I'm an accountant, yeah.
This is the main temple in Tulum, the Sun Temple, I believe. Riviera Maya has the second largest actively growing coral reef in the world, what they tell me. Tell you what, the Mayans sure knew how to pick a location.
Nope.
How's the weather treating you?
Fantastic.
Way better than back in the States, isn't it?
It's 80 degrees and sunny.
I'm actually sweating a little bit.
And somebody forgot his sunglasses, so he's borrowing mine.
Yeah, I'm exploring my inner femininity with Kelly's sunglasses.
Now off to a beautiful catamaran. See sea turtles. Not his thing, but it's my thing.
I'd rather stay in the ruins. Here's the exit through the security wall.
Huh?
Well, mine's were short.
You think?
This ain't as bad as the entrance. Somehow I don't think that was present way back in the day.
Back in the 2,000 years before
this is,
Jesus?
That's like when it started. This place was last occupied, I think, 1500s.
Yeah.
You know, it was like shin deep mud the rest of the way, 2 kilometers.
Good Lord, the tourists just taking up all the room. Can't even get around all the tourists.
We are the tourists. Good.
All right, now we're looking for the Temple of the Wi-Fi to meet up with our tour group.
Temple of the Wi-Fi.
Temple of the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. And then find
Wi-Fi
real
temple.
street tacos. Real street tacos.
That's what he said. I have my doubts. Yeah, we're gonna try and find something authentic. We're tired of the bastardized, Americanized versions of food we're finding at the resort. All right, go on, honey.
Feed me.
My, what big feet? What big feet you have?
This ain't my first rodeo. Is Matt Griggs gonna go? No.
No. My Greg doesn't like cold water.
Yep, I know he does. No, it's not bad at all.
Could do a swan drive. Is it cold?
It ain't my first rodeo.
Is it cold? Oh, she looks so cute in her goggles and snorkel and flippers. All right, there they go. They're going to take the long tour around the coral reef. That way. Meanwhile, because I'm not much for cold water, I'm just going to stay here on the shade on the boat. Enjoy the open bar with my tequila. Did you see any stingrays or turtles or sharks? Sea sharks?
No, I got to swim with the sea turtles. Now I can die happy.
See sea turtles.
Huh?
Got to see sea turtles.
Lots of school fish. Purple, pink. There's one neon blue colored one like this color. And then one stingray. So
You know what I got to see?
you do watching everybody else. No, but look
I
at,
got to see several of these.
look at this water. This is amazing. Yeah, and this is, look at him wearing my sunglasses again. The second pair, if you lose these, you're dead. Yeah, okay, here you go. I'm gonna go jump in the water now. Bye-bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.
All right, everybody wants an update on Kelly's fingers. Looks like they're halfway functional.
They're halfway functional to hold 2 tequila shots for us.
They ain't got no sauce on them.
It don't matter.
Here, take my lime off.
Wow, this is ridiculous.
Gluten
free?
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, that's fine.
That's some good tequila.
Wow.
Good? It's reposado, but the most important, if you put on the ice or the refrigerator, it's better.
All right, well, we finally got back home after 7 days of fun and relaxation. Got back to some beautiful weather. All the ice is gone. Beautiful weather out here. So it's time to get back to work. Felt good to put my boots back on again this morning. But anyway, before I wrap up this video, got to show you something else that happened while we were gone. My sister Spent several days up here in the office and put a nice coat of new poly down here in the office, or at least in the high traffic areas. We had this done 4 years ago. My sister and I stained the wood and put poly on it after we replaced the flooring. And just all the traffic in and out, the poly was starting to come up and peel up in a few places in the higher traffic areas. And just hadn't had time myself to do it, so my sister volunteered to spend her weekend and another day or two up here, and I got everything moved out that we could, and she cleaned the floors and put another layer of poly down on it to protect them again. Boy, it sure does look good. Huge thanks to my sister for doing that. Also had a spot in the bathroom floor we was having problems with. She got that fixed though. She's definitely a woman of many talents. I'm gonna get this stuff moved back in here, and then I still got another day or two worth of work at the computer before we get back down to shop. I've got to get some variable rate corn planting prescriptions done, and a couple other spreadsheets done, update the data on our website, and then it'll be time to be getting my hands good and greasy again until it's time to get back in the field. Anyway guys, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.